Now I just want to introduce you to the Waterlife range of products. They're basically a premium medication available in the aquarium industry. It's pretty vague on the bottle about what sort of chemicals and so forth are in them. Supposedly some sort of secret blend, I don't know. But basically we have a lot of success with these products. The most popular one is Protozon. Protozon is used for a freshwater aquarium, not a saltwater aquarium. And you dose this medication for white spot. So if you ever see your fish flicking, scratching, itching, then we'll dose it. So the first thing you need to do is work out the size of your aquarium, and that's easy. You just go the length times the width times the depth in centimeters divided by 1,000 gives you liters, and then you give the bottle a good shake, and you just dose it to the amount of liters you've got. It's pretty simple. It's approximately 1 mil for 10 liters, and you dose it on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 6. Then on day 7 you do a water change, and then if you need to redose, that's fine. I don't tend to do any more than 2 courses with one medication. So if I think I've got a problem, I'll try to dose it with Protozon. If that didn't work, I'll often move to Sterazin, because I will assume it's a parasitic problem first, especially if I can see evidence of it. Then if that hasn't worked and my fish are still dropping off or not looking good, then I will then give that one a go, generally on the, say, 3rd course. So this is the most popular one, because white spot's of course the most popular issue, the most common issue. Now when you do dose any of these medications, also make sure you turn off your UV sterilizers, ozonizers, take any activated carbon or poly filter out of the filter. Don't run anything like Easy Life that's going to polish the water, because that's all going to reduce your efficiency, because they'll all take this out of solution. If you've got any fish that might be delicate to medication, it's good to half dose. On here it does suggest that elephant nose can be an issue. Things like snails, shrimps that are sort of copper sensitive can be an issue. So once again, if in doubt, half dose, but I find it's quite effective for most fish. I highly recommend it. It's very rare that I dose this medication and don't get a good result. Normally I do get a good result. So if I see a bit of white spot, I'll try and ascertain why I got the white spot, and there's usually a reason. Then I'll dose this stuff, and I'm very confident that it'll work. Now the next one in the range is Myxazin. Myxazin can be used in fresh and salt water. So in fresh water it tends to be used more for bacterial or fungal infection, and in salt water it often gets used for white spot. So it also does help fungal and so forth in salt water as well. So it's a very safe medication. I often use it with reef tanks. Don't have a problem in reef tanks. So once again, exercise caution, be wary, but I don't tend to have a problem. Once again, all these medications are best kept in dark places, cool dark places. So this is another very good product. Sterazin isn't quite as popular, but probably should be, because the other thing that Sterazin is good for is, once again, it does flukes, worms, and a whole lot of other stuff that maybe aren't as easy to diagnose. So with a lot of the problems that this causes, you can't just look at it and go, oh, there's a white spot, or oh, there's a fungal infection or bacterial infection. This one is harder to diagnose. The fish might be getting thin, the fish might be getting weak, and in that circumstance it's worth running these. Here in the shop we actually alternate. In our freshwater systems, for example, we'll run a course of Protozon just for good luck, just to basically make sure our system's disease free. In a home aquarium I wouldn't really recommend that, because you shouldn't need to do it. But we'll run Protozon one week, maybe Myxazin another week, maybe Sterazin another week, just to make sure that nothing's building up in our systems. But I wouldn't really recommend doing that at home, because if you've got a stable, healthy environment, then medication really should be as a cure as opposed to as a preventative, unless you're buying a stupid amount of fish. If you're buying too many fish, then using medications as a preventative is actually a good idea. So I can't recommend these products enough. I've had a lot of success with them, and we sell a lot of them. And once again, if you have any freshwater parasite problems, reach for Protozon. If you have any freshwater fungal or bacterial problems, or saltwater white spot problems, or have a reef tank, go for Myxazin. Do not put Protozon in saltwater at all. Do not put Sterazin in a reef tank, because Sterazin can knock off, they can cause trouble with a reef tank. If it's a fish only tank, Sterazin is very safe. So using Sterazin in a saltwater quarantine tank, that's okay, but do not use Sterazin in a reef aquarium, because it will knock off some of your stuff. These do come with a nice little measuring cap on the top. So once again, if you see little white spots on your fish here, if you see cloudy eyes, if you see milky skin, and this one, if you don't see any problems but you know your system's running well and you're still losing the odd fish, that's when I go for Sterazin. Anyway, very good range of products. Put your comments down the bottom, tell me if you've used them, tell me what you think of them, and it's all good fun.